Yeah, eventually they got a pretty decent side, St George. I know they haven't had a great year, but they've got a much better side than where they are on the ladder. So yeah, and a couple of those bits got us. Yeah, I felt at times through the whole game, I felt we were going to come through or we're creating some opportunities, but just probably typical of our season, we just couldn't quite finish things off, or we dropped the ball over the line once, and we have to work too hard for tries to give those things up. And then typical of how a lot of our season's gone, I thought we worked hard at times, and then because we don't take advantage of them, then when the opposition does take advantage of something, they go to 12-6 or 18-10, and they just get to open up a gap on us, and we don't get to do that to the opposition.
Did they try just before half time, something with a wind out of the sails, and defended pretty well for 35 minutes?
Yeah, it hurt, but honestly, the vibe at half time was pretty positive and pretty good. They said all the right things, which I know is easy for a team to do, but I thought we started well in the second half, and I thought we showed, some good grit, I guess, with some of the stuff that we're trying to do, but in the end we just weren't good enough.
Michael Gordon, shame not to send him out a winner, but I guess he had some good moments there with a couple of back-to-back try-saving tackles on opposite sides of the field.
Yeah, well, that was a fantastic effort, though. That summed him up perfectly. The line break down our right edge, and Michael's come across and made a beautiful tackle, and then his effort, if you see him, I saw him out the corner of my eye as soon as the play was gone. He just sprinted straight from the play out the back and was there to hold up the Dragons guys. He went over the line on the other side of the field, and if at any stage, at the start, if he had a walk for the first 2 metres, or if he just had a jogged and hadn't have sprinted like he did, he wouldn't have made it. And I thought that effort sort of summed up probably his whole career. It was a career based on effort, and I think the biggest shame of the whole evening was that we couldn't get a win for him. And I know he's played 260 odd games. I know they'll all fade into each other as time goes on, but it would have been pretty special for him to go home tonight a winner, if not for the season, certainly for the night.
You've talked a lot about effort in the last sort of 10 weeks. That kind of an effort from Michael, is this playing group moving forward capable of producing similar things?
Yeah, well, I think to compete in the competition, they have to be. The guys, I think the club's been pretty, blunt a little while ago on that. That's the sort of things they're going to value and the sort of things that are going to keep people in position. So everybody's got an opportunity to show whether they're willing to do that. We lose a very good effort player in Michael, through his retirement, and hopefully some of those younger players coming through, like I know Milwaukee was out tonight, but Mo and AJ and Tanner was just recently debuted. All these guys are right at the beginning of their careers. If they learn that stuff right from the beginning, it's really important. And then some of the guys in the middle of their careers, I guess, have a bit of a decision to make about how they want to finish the back end of their career. You can coast through, being well paid, and live a good life, or you can, knuckle down and everything's done 5 or 10% better at training, and everything's done 5 or 10% better in preparation, and they'll find themselves making those sort of efforts that Flash made tonight.
Can they turn it around in 12 months?
Yeah. I don't.
What's going to take?
Yeah, well, hopefully the freshness of Justin coming in is a good thing for him. Everybody, is accountable and answerable to him. I think there's a lot of spokes in the wheel of things that need to be done right, but they're all capable of being done right. I think we need to, we need to train our way to be a better side. We need to, with that effort-based stuff you're talking about, but I've no doubt that recruitment and retention is going to be very important over the next year or two. There will be some important decisions to be made for the club and the club's hierarchy, and I think that'll shape the next 18 months worth of those decisions will shape the next probably generation of Titans' successful failure.
Starting debut, I guess, a bit of a mixed bag. What did you kind of make of his performance tonight?
Yeah, it was his first game at halfback in first grade, so you're not going to be too critical of him. He got a couple of things probably weren't ideal, but a bit of that's nervousness and inexperience. But I thought there was enough signs for, he showed a bit of energy and he's enthusiastic and there's the beauty of him playing the last 2 weeks is that he gets to turn up at the beginning of November for training, is knowing exactly what NRL feels like now, the things that he needs to work on. He's not turning up on the back of Queensland Cup experience wondering what it's like, or wondering if he's going to get a taste in 2020. He knows some things that he didn't do well and that he needs to work especially hard on. He'll get a feel for the pace of the game now, the physicality of the game, things that he'll know why things are done at training now. He'll know the reason behind it, and all these game and a half that he's played in the last 2 weeks will set him up for a really good summer, which will set him up for a good next year.